We are leaving our hotel. I came in last night and just dropped. Overdid it yesterday. Not very smart to go 91 miles in that kind of heat. Today, looks like I woke up to a little bit of rain. Looks like it rained last night. Might get a little sprinkled on, which is fine. This night is cooler. Hope it stays this way today. My body did not deserve what I put it through. Although I thought I drank a lot of water, I didn't. I mean, I drink a lot of water, but the problem was within the first couple of hours, I was making so much progress, really the first 3 hours, that I just kept moving, and I didn't pay attention to, even though I'm not thirsty, to drink, because that pays dividends later on in the day. I'm gonna go 48 miles today. That's my plan, to be able to just kind of take it easy. I was gonna take a rest day today because of what I did with my body yesterday, but I figured, you know, what's a rest day? You know, 48 miles would be a rest day. I can just take it slow, and hopefully I'll be done by noon today. It's around 6 a.m. I'm gonna go grab something to eat, fuel my body, fill up my containers with some Gatorade. I have 3 waters in the back. I'll put in some Gatorade in the big containers, and then when I get to the next town, I'll refill again. I just got to remind myself at least once every 30 minutes to stop and take a good drink of water. You know, a good 8 ounces at least of water every 30 minutes, and that'll sustain me throughout the day. But today is going to be a quote-unquote rest day of 48 miles, 50 miles. Getting rid of the 115 and 91 back to back. Not the greatest thing. I am in Chandron, I believe is what we're called. I've not gone through the town yet, so come and enjoy it with me. So I just went through the town of Chandron, talked and videoed the entire time, and realized I didn't tell my GoPro to, you know, start recording. So so that's it back there. I think I'm losing it. I'm losing it, man. Which is fine. So, recap: Chandron, okay town. Me, taking better care of myself. Cardon is now 47 miles away. Something Springs, I don't remember the name. It's 20 miles away, and that's where I'll be having lunch. I could get there in an hour and a half, but we'll see how it goes. My first 15 miles is uphill, so I'm gonna take it easy. It's about 75 degrees, a little humid this morning, but 75, so I'm good. Looks like the storm has passed me by. Looks like the Lord has put some rays down on me, and it's just me and Nebraska, which I want to call New England all the time. I don't understand why. It's the NE that gets me. So Nebraska should be NEB, NEB. So what's New England? Ain't that NE as well? I don't know. Well, like I said, I'm losing it this morning. But nevertheless, this is my ride for the day. I'm going into those hills up there. You can see them. See the treetops. That's what I'm climbing this morning. But in the meantime, I'm coming out of Chandron. Warming my legs up. I'll Google why they mow the side of this. It's got to be for fire protection. But maybe there's a different reason. But there's some really big mowers. In case you wanted to have a mower. I'm sure they're not mowers. I'm sure they have to do something with all this farming and ranching. But that's my start of the morning. I'm gonna put a little work in. on this road, about these lines here, like voodoo. It's been doing that to me all the way across Nebraska so far. I don't get it, why they have to have these lines here. Maybe it's from runoff, maybe it's just a machine. But man, what a bumpy ride it makes it. It's a museum of fur trade. There you go, PETA. Why don't you come? There's a spot for you to come and get naked and protest. No paint all over yourself. Well, if you wondered if Nebraska had trees and forest, I'm up on to the top, but I'm getting there. I mean, I got a big push coming up. Didn't care much for the last push, to be honest with you. But thought that's cool. When no cars are coming by. I don't know if you can hear it, but just the birds. Filled in all these little cracks. That's a lot better. Oh, and there's our hay. Forest back there. Hay here. But look, I got cloud cover. That is such a blessing. I'm telling you. Because man, that was just smoking me yesterday. Smoking me yesterday. This is uphill, but at least I'm not baking in the sun. Well, if I was gonna live in Shadron, I think I'd want to live up here. A little higher elevation. Especially back in there, get some trees, some shade, some deer. Put my cattle over there. Man, I'm so thankful for this cloud cover. I really didn't expect that today. And got Nebraska cheese and honey out of this farmer's market. Maybe I should bring some honey with me. Get some sugar. Some calories. No offense, Cliff, but I'm getting sick of your bars. I know there's other stuff out there, but you know, I trust you, Cliff. They taste great when I'm hungry, don't get me wrong. But when you gotta eat them just to keep your energy, that's a different story. By the way, I know I'm complaining about these little cracks in the ground where I hit it, ba-boom, ba-boom. I ate a bug. Yeah, I puked. So, I've eaten a lot of bugs before today. I ended up swallowing them. That one got in my gibbler. I don't even know what a gibbler is, but that's what my father-in-law used to say. I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, there's these little cracks in the ground. It's better than the dirt. I'll take these little bumps because I had that 18-mile ride on that dirt, that gravel. And I'm not saying I'm not gonna start on some rails to trails as I go along, but Lord have the mercy. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, my last 3 or 4 miles, they have all this sand all over the ground, all over the dirt. I mean, all over the road. I think my cousin Richie, he's in this kind of a business, and he says he sells a lot of this, and they throw it on the ground when it snows. So I just don't know if this is all left over from the snow season, but look at that mound. That's a talked earlier how I want to try to stay off gravel because how a miserable experience I had the other day, and all of a sudden here comes gravel. Expect the unexpected, I guess, but it just seems to go on forever. And you'll notice I'm on top of this mountain. Well, it's Nebraska. They said it's all flat. By the way, the person, and I haven't mentioned this before, if I have probably, but the person that I met on top of the Grand Tetons said to me, "Oh, you're going through Nebraska? It's pretty much downhill all the way." He goes, "I came that way, and it was a steady incline to a point where you didn't even notice it." I don't want to have to use bad language, but it would start with an F and end with the U, because this is the second I've been climbing my butt off since I've hit Nebraska. So, you know, maybe it'll change. But up to this point, let's just say the first few hundred miles into Nebraska, number one, it's not cornfields, a bunch of hay fields. Number two, there are very, very steep inclines. So there. I'm sorry I said F you to you. I didn't really mean that. think we're coming into our first town. Well, I see a water tower. That's 20 miles, so like I said yesterday, I don't know why the first 20 is always the best. Maybe I should start with the first 20 last. Haha. Welcome to Hay Springs. Oh, RV parking and camping. Alright, well, I'm not going to do either. Alright, another 12 miles coming into another town. I see football lights up there. I don't know what the name of the town is, but I thought this might be the town sign. But that says motel. Now, I do not see a motel anywhere around that sign. Okay, all I had to do is go another 100 yards, and there's the sign. Welcome to Rushville. Rushville, Nebraska. 890 people. So what is it? Oh, it's a ballpark. Yeah. There we go. Way to get down, Rushville, with your ballpark. Oh, and that's a football field. Check out that track. Somebody's gonna break an ankle. But I love it. Football's good. Look at the baseball diamond though. Wow. Folks like their baseball more than their football. Well, maybe it's just baseball season, right? Well, it's summer, so people are not even in school. It's like a cool little town though. Another park, just like the town before. They like their parks. Bunch of beautiful trees. Take it. Wow, what a beautiful park. Nice job, Rushville. Oh, this golf course. Look at that. I should have brought a disc. That's cool. Nebraska, you got it going on. I'm just saying. I think. What do we got here? Don't want a bar. But I really would like to have something to eat. Oh, there it is right there. Coffee place. Let's get some breakfast. Good morning.
Hi, Dorothy. Have a good weekend.
Yeah. The fair next week or the week after?
The week after, right? Is that right? I think so. I don't know how
There's
that
the
like.
23rd, so it won't be this weekend, but that next
There's a coffee board right there.
A coffee board there. You have any foods too?
Well, we're kind of running low on that. We have breakfast sandwiches or
Farmhouse coffee. Very nice people. Very nice coffee. And they make a great breakfast sandwich. Nothing else is open today. They said, well, I can't get anything to eat. I can go to Gordon and they'll have stuff to eat. But it's 10:30. I wanted something to eat now. Trying to treat my body better. Wanted to get enough food in me and fuel in me to get to Gordon. And Gordon is 15 miles away. So let's do this thing. As I'm leaving Rushville, after having my coffee and sandwich, what strikes me about every little town I go through is just how sweet everybody is. I mean, they are so nice and so kind. Historical Society. Do I go in there? I go in there, don't I? Yeah, I do.
Anyway,
I love the old gloves. That is really cool.
yeah, those are neat, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Braves, Milwaukee Braves.
Milwaukee Braves used to come into Rushville
Yeah, right here is a little story about it.
and do
They did a
baseball camps.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How neat is that? And Rushville's on the map for what reason? How did we get here? Presented by Sheridan County Historic. What is Rushville? Why is Rushville alive? Why do we have a Rushville?
Well,
I'm coming through on a bicycle. I've never been.
It's been here since 1886.
1886.
And it was named for a creek that runs from way up north down goes under the highway out here to the west, and then keeps going down until it finally gets to the river.
Rushville Creek.
Rush Creek.
Rush Creek.
And they just put the Ville on it.
Oh, and is this obviously is an old
That's a
photo of Rushville?
Right.
Had train track going right through it?
Yes, we used to have a train go through here. We shipped out a lot of cattle out of here. The local farmers brought in their cream, and we had a creamery that prepared it, and then it was shipped off to be made into butter someplace down the line. Can't tell you exactly where that happened.
And this is a pinball machine?
Yes, get around and then you can see the front of it. Isn't that clever?
Love it.
This is kind of a legal bit here. I don't know if you're familiar with the Sandoz story.
The Sandoz?
Sandoz.
Sandoz.
Mm-hmm. Jules Sandoz, Mari Sandoz, his daughter was quite an author, wrote a lot of books. But anyway, he came here and homesteaded, and he was always in trouble. They've got a summons there, so it's just, you know.
Oh, so that's the summons of him getting in trouble.
Well, that's one of them. And I can tell a really funny story on Jules because my mother grew up in the Sandhills, and you know, everybody, and that day, if you were at somebody's house and it was around mealtime, you automatically stayed, you know, and unless you were there for something special, and then of course you were invited to stay. But Jules used to make it to Grandma's house quite often, and my mother was probably 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that general area, and she was told to sit at the table, put the plate on, put the napkin on the plate, put the silverware, you know, beside the plate. And when they came in to eat and stuff started being passed around the table, Jules piled everything on top of his napkin. And then he ate the napkin too. My mother, I mean, she said, I couldn't believe it, Deanie, when this happened. I just had to go tell Grandma or her mother that Jules was eating his napkin, and Grandma said, just leave him alone. Don't pick an argument with that man.
Okay, just got outside of town. Whew, that's a great bee. Hey, cornfields. First time I've seen the cornfields. People been talking about cornfields. Now I saw one. And how sweet was Glenna? She and another guy proceeded to take me through the whole property. I know I had only 15 miles to go, so I was cool with that. But we had a lot of other conversation. But people like her has made this trip worthwhile. You know, one day you're hot, you're tired, you beat yourself up, and you know, the next day you just run across people like that is just so heartwarming. And as I look at her and I look at all of the relics inside of the museum that she has, it just makes me think about how long that stuff will last, and to be able to see it, and it's including me. I know she's closer to separate from the body, present with the Lord than I am, but I know that I'm on deck, and I'm aware of that. Part of this ride is kind of birthed out of that understanding. But what a wonderful little community that was. And to top it off with Glenna, so sweet, so wonderful. She was talking about her barn. It was in 1902 when it was built. She heard her story about some of the old things. A lot of those things she can remember herself. So cute, so wonderful just to be able to talk to her. Cornfields of Nebraska. Finally saw you. So I'm right next to the rails to trails route, if you see on the left. But the resistance, and I do have gravel tires, and it does seem kind of packed in a way, but the effort of taking that outside of this road, if you see how wide the road is, so you're really away from traffic because it has such a huge lane that I can get a 5 mile more per hour off my tires being on the road than being on the gravel. Now, the rails to trails, you can see, has a slight up. It's not up and down, but even so, I'm just getting more mileage and less effort by running the side of 20 here. So I think that's going to be my strategy going forward. I mean, if the bike lane, I guess I'll call it, gets narrow, then I'll pop over there, but why? I mean, it's a safety issue. Just to be on gravel, I don't have a problem with gravel. Don't have a problem with gravel. Okay, I've got a small problem with gravel. But if it's not the Continental Divide, which really is the longest off-road, and you're doing that on purpose, then the question is why? Why go to a trail that used to have a railroad on it? The reason is to get you safe and get you off the freeway. Well, if you're safe on the freeway, why cost yourself 5 miles an hour? 5 miles an hour, 4 hours, that's 20 miles. 10 days, that's 200 miles. That does not make mathematical sense to somebody trying to get across Nebraska because number one, I have a time limit, but number two, it's hot and muggy here, so you gotta be really careful with your energy. So thank you so much for the rails to trails. I do appreciate it, but for the time being, as long as this side of the road is this wide, all right, I'm about 5 miles from Gordon, and I thought I'd come over to the rail trail just to see if my theory is correct. Honestly, I was getting tired of that. Every 20 yards, just boom, boom, boom. So I thought I'd give this a shot. See if my theory's correct. It's a little loose. Yeah, it's a lot loose. Safer, but man, what a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the rail trail, but my gosh. They put so much work into it. Let me see if I can get some better speed to it. See what happens. Yeah, it's just so loose. Yeah. This will take forever. And it's very bumpy. Alright. Can't record and do this same time, so I'm gonna put some work in. I'll get back to you on what I think the rail trail is, but I'm gonna take it into town. Like I said, it's about 4 to 5 miles, so let's give it a shot. You guys put all the work into this rail to trail. I've been looking forward to jumping on it, but at the expense of what looks to be several miles an hour. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, if you look at the rail trail, I mean, a lot of money, a lot of effort. Crushed gravel. They even got benches along the way, if you see down there. But the output, what I've done in 1 mile would take the same amount of energy as 5 miles just on the side of the road. And yeah, once every 20 to 60 feet, you gotta hit those little bumps. But okay, I'll take that, because these have ripples in them too. This gets a little washboardy as well. Now I guess if you have a motorcycle, a quad, even an e-bike, take it. But when you're trying to get across Nebraska and you want to get across in due time, you know, and you want to get across without jarring your brains to death, because that's what it takes. And I have suspension. I have my gravel tires. I even have a suspension post, even this, as you can see. I got travel even on my seat, so I have both suspension. But the difference between going on the rail to trail and going on the road is a huge difference. I can get up to 20 miles an hour on the road. 20 miles an hour, especially if it's got just a small 1% decline. You know, I can put it in 11 and 12 and I can just pump it out. You cannot get over 6 or 7 on a gear on this. You're safer? Yes. Nobody's going to hit you. You can be reassured. Nobody's coming over to this rail trail and hitting you. And you've seen the traffic, you've seen the trucks, you've seen things go by me. But as I said before, it's got such a wide shoulder that I don't feel unsafe. And everybody has really been responsible in seeing me. And I have 2 flashing lights on the back. So as far as I'm concerned, at 100-degree heat, well, not today, today's about 95, which has been really nice. I've had a lot of overcast. That I would stick with the road. Now I put this bike together because of the Great Divide, which I wasn't able to do most of it because, well, I had an injured soul with me that had to rent a car. No offense to you, Missouri. An injury's an injury. Then I went through Yellowstone. There is no rail to trail or any, you know, bike trails for that. Neither is there the Tetons, nor any place from here to there. But I was looking forward to get here to Gordon because I knew this is where it started. I knew they had a great trail, and now that I see it, my suspicion was correct. I can go 15 miles an hour, 12 to 20 miles an hour, or I can go 5 to 8 miles an hour. And when you have several hundred miles, I mean, I guess the rail to trail is nice in theory to say you can go from one coast to the other, and they're putting that together. But no, that not if you want to get across this country in any amount of time. Locally, if you're just going to go from Gordon to Rushville, where I just came from, yeah, okay, have a nice family ride, get off the freeway, but not the way I'm riding. And I have these gravel tires, and I bought these because I'd be on the rail to trail. Hopefully it gets more hard packed, and maybe to get more unsafe as I start going, not having a very big shoulder. But that would have to be the situation for me to be in to ride these gravel roads, is that number one, the shoulder will be narrow and I'd feel unsafe. Then I would come over, or it has to be more beautiful or some kind of thing. But right now, I need to make time. Not right now because I'm going to my hotel right now, but still, motel anyways. Gordon doesn't have hotels. Which, by the way, the motels have been wonderful. I mean, why not shoot down motels? I've been in hotels where I've paid up to $200 a night, where I've had a motel where I paid $45 and $55 a night, and the motel, I felt better in it anyways. So what do you know? So anyways, that's my thoughts on the rail to trail. Okay, 2 motels in Gordon. First one, I'm at Jeffco. I believe it's called Jeffco Motel. So I'm not going to talk about the other one. Okay, I'm going to talk about the other one. Whoa. Oh my God, tragedy from the beginning. You walk up to the front. I didn't want to video it, but they had bikes, and I don't even want to get into it. It smelled like death. It was right next to a packing company where they were slaughtering cattle. The noise was unbelievable and unacceptable. $80, and they were asking what? So I come down here to, I think it's called Jayco. People should actually have their names on their hotels. Jeffco. Yeah, I think that's the name of it, Jeffco. And $20 less. I mean, I don't understand why this parking lot is not full. The other one had like 2 or 3 cars in it, but I think people are living there. I think it's their home more than anything else. So this place is adorable. That's why I'm choosing it. It's not even 12:30. It's not even, almost 10 to 1 already here. Stopped a few places already. Great rest day. We did only go 50 miles today and treat my body right. And I thank God for the overcast for most of the day. So very nice. Well, again, adorable. So I call Selena, and she says, "Is there a key on the desk and has your name on it?" I say yes, and there it is. There's a key. Nobody's here. Nobody's even here. Not in the entire hotel. Again, she had to go down and do some of their kids or pick something up, and just said, "Hey, the key's right there on the desk, and just let yourself in. We'll settle up later." I think that is the cutest damn thing. I mean, is it me? I mean, or is it just coming from the West Coast? You don't just leave keys and your door open and that kind of thing, you know? Where I live in Gardnerville, you can kind of do that, but I just find it unusual. I find it unfamiliar that somebody would just say, "Hey, got the key on the front there, put your name on it, let yourself in." Okay, came downtown, found this cute little Italian restaurant. I got to the front door, and it said they do not accept credit cards or debit cards. I carry cash on me for the entire trip, and because I don't want to carry that kind of money around, I left it in my hotel room. I brought $20, so I came in and told her I only had $20. She said she's going to feed me and make sure it's under $20 spaghetti, salad, and wine. I looked in my wallet again. I found another 20. I have $40. I will have 2 glasses of wine. I will. So, pasta tonight with the salad and 2 glasses of wine. And this cute little Italian place that's heard back there. And then that's a little bar over here. Right at the end of the bar is one of those guys. You know what I'm talking about. Just brash, loud, perverse. And anybody who knows me knows I just love those kind of guys. I don't want to get into it, but I'm a long ways from home. So I don't want to get into it. But I'd love to get into it. But anyways, I digress, regress, digress, back up, sitting in my spot, making no comments. Okay, here's the comment I want to make. Because I walked into the bar first and said, hey, is this a restaurant? You couldn't see the restaurant down here. And he had a snide remark. I want to ask him if he ever watched the movie Kung Fu. You know, where Kung Fu comes into a small town. He's meek, not trying to bother anybody. And there's always this guy that wants to stand up and put his finger kind of in somebody's chest. And what ends up happening is Kung Fu kicks his ass. So it'd be nice to have one of those little Kung Fu moments. But again, I'm a stranger in town. And I don't like to have trouble. But if I did want to have trouble, this guy would be the guy I would like to have trouble with. Bring it down. Have my pasta and my Merlot. But I do want to just kind of walk in there and just listen. You can hear him. Maybe you can't, because I got this little muffle, this wind protector on my speaker. Oh. So anyways, having a great dinner. And I'll take you around town when I leave today. When I leave dinner, go back to my room. Okay, I am at the Italian Inn here in Corden, Nebraska. The sweetest Italian lady. She asked me about my trip and my story, and I let her know. Remember, I came in with $20 to her. That's all I had. She said she'll take care of me and feed me. When I was all done, even with a glass of wine, she refused to charge me. Refused to charge me. And knowing that I only had 2 20s, I couldn't tip her. I guess I could tip her a 20. I probably should have. No, I shouldn't have, because it'd take away the gift that she gave me. But she just asked me to travel very safely, and how sweet and kind and wonderful of a person she was. And this is her restaurant. So if you're in Corden, Nebraska, come into here, and this is her little place. As beautiful and cute as it is, has a nice little bar. The guy left, but has a great menu, great food, and what a beautiful person she is. So again, another act of kindness of someone taking care of me, and I am completely in awe of the human kindness and compassion and concern that is shown to me on this bicycle across this country. It is completely amazing. So again, I'm touched. Italian Inn. No more words. Okay, leaving the Italian Inn, and this is Corden, Nebraska. Just one small little street. Not a whole lot. This is it. But it's the only thing around. So you know, you got home furnishings, and everything seems to be open. Not like so many small little towns, right? Little clothing departments. Hairsmith. Do we still call it Hairsmiths? Sandhills Hairsmiths. We got drugstore. Little coffees and gifts. How cute is this little town? Being passed by a tractor. Oh my goodness. These communities are just killing me. And if you see my beard is getting gray, I'm gonna have to go get some color. Yeah, I color it. A little wash in. Going to the store right now, they have a little local market here, so if I see any beard color, I'm gonna get some. Because I don't mind looking 55, but because of my Irish and British heritage, I do mind looking 65. I don't mind looking my age, but I do mind looking 10 years more than my age. Don't worry, we have cars. They do have a subway. Now the hotel that I was gonna be renting is across from the slaughterhouse. Now listen, if you can smell this slaughterhouse, it smells. Now this is our little hotel that I went into the first time. Now that's the front office. And when you got beat up old bikes and flat tire cars, and that is in front of your office. Imagine, and when I went inside of it, they had a fish tank in there, and you can smell the dead fish that was in the fish tank. Again, to each his own. God bless them. But wow. She, or maybe it was her, because it didn't look like she bathed very often. Again, judge not, lest you be judged. I have not smelled the best on these bike rides, but she wasn't right. She was not riding a bike.